in our center, there is no strict schedule. Yeah, so we have a pretty flexible schedule and a lot of free time. Why do we do it? Why do we do this flexible thing? Because many of the centers, they just give you this opportunity to practice just 12 hours a day, you know, so to get some experiences. So we believe that your intrinsic motivation to practice is the key for success. Because if someone just forces you to meditate longer, this will be not your real motivation. And the result of the practice will be different. So that's why we have just a little bit of time when we're practicing together, and all other time we provide you to find your own motivation to practice. Because when you're at the center, you know, it's much more easy condition to practice. But when you go outside, how are you going to practice? If you haven't developed this skill to pay attention to the present moment and absorb body and mind, you will not be able to meditate outside. And the most important in this technique is learn how to absorb body and mind at the present moment. But we need to absorb it with wisdom. Just observation, just awareness, just mindfulness is not enough for practice to succeed. Because if you just absorb something, yeah, everyone can do it. But absorb it in the right way, with the right ideas, with the right understanding, this is absolutely different thing. What does it mean, right understanding? First, we need to understand that whatever you observe is just an object. It's not you, it's not yours. Yeah? So, for example, you observe the body. Yeah? Is it yours or not? Check your thoughts about it. You observe the thoughts. Is it yours or not? Check it. Because if it's yours, if the object that you observe is yours, you constantly responsible for that. You kind of like have to fix it because something wrong with you. Yeah? But if you observe this object as just a nature, so the nature has its own law, cause and effect, appearing and disappearing. If you observe it with this attitude, your mind automatically calms down. Because you don't need to care about it as about yourself. Huh? What kind of objects we have? There are 6 kind of objects that comes from 6 sense doors. The seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, sensing, and the processes that are happening in the mind. Yeah? And all these objects have the same characteristics. They're all impermanent and they're all non-self. What's important in our practice is the mind that absorbs these objects. Because objects not meditating. It's mind that meditating. The nature of objects is just to be known, is just to be experienced, is just to be sensed. That's it. They done their job, they disappear. And the work of our mind is to know this object, sense this object, experience this object. So that's why at the beginning we observe like a rising, falling, we observe like a hearing, seeing, but later on we start to pay attention to the mind that observe it. What attitude of mind we have? Why are we meditating? Do we want to gain something? Achieve something? Or maybe we want to get rid of something from our experience? Both of this attitude, trying to get something or trying to get rid of something, this is the wrong attitude that doesn't allow your practice to progress. Because if you want to gain something, you develop greed. If you want to get rid of something, you develop aversion. And as more you want something and you are not getting it, as more anger you have, as more aversion you have. And they just support each other. Greed and aversion, greed and aversion. And it doesn't make us peaceful. It doesn't calm down our body and mind. So that's why wherever you meditate, check your body and mind. Is there any stress? Is there even a little bit stress? And check your attitude. Because with right attitude, there is no tension. No tension in the body, no tension in the mind. Mind is peaceful, mindful, enjoys this practice, mind has an interest in investigating what's going on in the present moment. So that's why if there is any dissatisfaction, check the attitude of your mind. It means we want something or we want to get rid of something. If we meditate with this attitude, our practice will go very smooth. And later on, we will always be able to find out if something wrong. Yeah, so we start from just observing body and mind in the present moment, whatever happening. Yeah, hearing, seeing, smelling, thinking. Yeah, but then at some moment we just like something wrong. Something doesn't feel right. My practice doesn't work. It's not a good practice. Sometimes you have these words. Today's morning wasn't a good practice. Check your attitude. There is always this splinter there that tell you, that you need something better than what's happening in this present moment. And if you have the desire to get something, you focus on this desire. And this desire, like a filter, it's cover you from what you're experiencing right now, because you're fixed on this desire. What disturbs us the most in our practice is mostly thinking. Yes? So everyone had this experience, like a lot of thoughts. But what is better, when there are a lot of thoughts or it's a silence? Doesn't matter. That's the good stuff, huh? It really doesn't matter, because the thoughts is just an object. We just observe them. Again, what's better, when there is a noise or there is no noise? But for someone it's matter, yeah? Who doesn't like noises around? Chickens, kids? Oh, yes. Why? Because we have this attitude that noises are wrong. They shouldn't happen. And we absorb them with this idea to trying to get rid of them, thinking that without them the meditation will be much better. Unpleasantness feels wrong? Are you okay with unpleasantness? The mind that absorbs unpleasantness is peaceful or not? Yes. So if your mind is peaceful and it absorbs unpleasantness it doesn't matter. It's just unpleasantness. But if mind has this pollution of like a desire or hate, all this unpleasantness multiplied. Basically, our suffering equal the dissatisfaction, this unpleasantness, multiplied by our rejection, our what we call it, the resistance. Yes. So the unpleasantness is a nature. It's just unpleasant feeling that arises by itself. We cannot get rid of that. But if we resist to these unpleasant feelings, it creates suffering. It means if there is unpleasant feelings, but there is no resistance, like zero resistance, yeah, any amount of unpleasantness multiplied by zero became a zero suffering. So that's what we do with our mental suffering. We absorb this resistance, and by absorbing this resistance drop to zero. Who has challenges with mindfulness? Huh? Okay, cool. What challenges you have?
I don't know how to put it. I guess it's hard for me to separate when, especially with thinking, if it's me or it's not me, I guess. That's probably the hardest part.
Oh, it's easy, you know. Now you're thinking, yes? Okay. You guess or you think?
I think.
Yes, okay, cool. Stop thinking. Nah. Doesn't work. So thoughts run by itself, isn't it? Come back to this idea. You see, like when something happens, these thoughts just cover your experience and just describe you what's going on, and it's kind of like align with the experience. That's why it's very difficult to separate thoughts and feeling and sensations. Yeah. So that's why you're just like, okay, let's stop thinking, and then you will see that it's not you thinking; it's just appearing. Yeah? Second thing that we need to realize about the thoughts, like how to understand that you're thinking. Feeling and thinking, is it the same or not? No. Okay, we have a feeling and we have thinking. How do you understand that there is a thinking? Tricky, yeah? We were using it, you know, all our entire life, and we don't understand what does it mean thinking. You have a mental images, and you have an inner talk that describe it. Yes, these two things. And normally people tend to see one or another. It's either mental images or it's this inner talk. It's better when you can see both. Because when you see both, you see how your mental talk, mental words affect these mental images. And then you will see how these mental images affect your mental talk. Huh? And after you see it, you can see how these thoughts, the thinking process, affect your feelings. Because everything what's going on in your mind and everything what's going on in your body, it's always reflect in your feelings, pleasant or unpleasant. Each and every little thought has a feeling attached to it. Each and little micro movement of your body has a feeling attached to it. So if you can see the process, how these thoughts and feeling interact with each other, you see the huge part of what we call body and mind. Yeah? This is a kind of a key to mindfulness. When you understand the thoughts, the feeling, the body sensations, you kind of unlock the skills to observe it. Any other challenges with mindfulness? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the difficulties with that? Because it's difficult to separate it. As you say, those things behind it. Yeah. What kind of things you want to find behind it? That's the problem. The things just as they are. Feeling, sensation, thoughts is just as they are. And you can see them. But you just know it's not enough. I want to dive deep. I want to figure out where it came from. You know, like if you try to find the cause for everything, where is the cause? Every cause has its own cause. that has its own cause. It's endless. If you try to figure out it, it's endless. But one thing that you want to do, you want to get rid of it. Yeah? And this desire to get rid of it brings you suffer. If you are able to see this desire to get rid of it, you can be free from it. What you absorb is just an object. It's not you. This feeling, these thoughts, these emotions, it's not you. There is observation of this object, yes? Huh? You look at it. What's important is that mind that looks at this. And this mind has aversion to it. You have an unpleasant feeling. You have thoughts. You have emotions. Yeah? This is the objects. The mind absorbs this object. And this mind has aversion to it. This mind has hate to it. Yeah? So step back and see this aversion. See this hate from the mind that's pure from it. When this hate gone, this is just an object. Nothing special. All right? Okay, keep on going. Any other challenges?
Sometimes it can feel difficult to take the first step. So as the meditation goes on, the more mindfulness there is, more mindfulness. But early on, especially when I've been practicing, it's very difficult because it feels like the mindfulness got a lot of effort in. It comes only momentarily, and or once again, a good long time, only then.
Yes, yes. So it works like that. Our practice is not a sprint. It's not a 100 meters of run. Yeah, it's a long run. So that's why you shouldn't put all your effort to reach something at this short distance. If you put this effort, it means you have a desire to achieve something. If you have this desire, it means mind that absorbs, it's already polluted. And if it's polluted, it cannot reach it. So first, check your attitude while you're meditating. Why? Yeah? Can you tell me? Why do you meditate?
Why do I meditate? So I get to very clear states. And I like those states. The mindful states.
You see, mindfulness it's impossible to pin it. As soon as you pin something as a state of mindfulness, it's not mindfulness already. So it means when you cling to it, you already cling to illusion. It's not mindfulness anymore. And you cannot get it. As more you try, as more anger appears, More anger appears, less peacefulness in mind, less stability of mind. And that's why mind cannot catch the present moment.
So you're saying that wanting to get to mindfulness stops you from getting to mindfulness?
It's absolutely true. Yeah. Wanting to get any states of mind, anything, it's create a greed. And when you practice with the greed, you develop the greed. Not mindfulness, the greed. Even if you want to get mindfulness, you will get greed. So that's why we need balance five spiritual qualities of our mind. First is a faith or trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the practice. Because if you don't believe in yourself that it's possible for you to be mindful, if you don't believe that this practice works and lead you to mindfulness, it will be very difficult to practice. A lot of doubts and all this stuff. Yeah. Second thing is effort. You need to understand how to balance the effort. Not too much, not too less. Because if too much, it means there is a desire and there is an irritation, worriness in the mind. But if it's too less, it would be not enough to get something. Yeah, it's like too much laziness, too much sleepiness. So that's why sometimes we need to go to extremes, too much, too less. Yeah, to find the middle way.
So kind of paradox in the sense that you, in my experience, an effort counts if I want to get somewhere. So the desire is a hindrance, but at the same time, if there would be no desire, wouldn't there be any effort? So
there is two types of desire. In English, we have only one word, desire. Yeah, but in Pali, we have tanha and chanda. Chanda is a kind of like an intention that neutral by itself, like intention to lift your head. There is no desire there, because desire refers to sensual desires. It's like a satisfied what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you think. Yeah, but there is just an intention. And second, there could be an interest. And interest, again, it could be a wholesome or unwholesome interest. Unwholesome interest is again referred to your sixth sense doors, to satisfy these sixth sense doors. But wholesome interest refer to know how all this stuff happening, how this body and mind works. The interest to know yourself. This is a wholesome interest.
But for example, moving your hand, does there need to be any cause that why you move your hand?
Always there is a cause.
How can it be neutral? Is there not some wanting to move my hand rather here than here? Or?
It's intention.
Yes, I feel like intention needs a direction or something. For me, intention and desire seem quite similar. You need the desire to create attention.
Desire by itself has a purpose to satisfy it, to kind of want. At some of our actions, there is both. Yeah, so intention can be polluted with desire, for sure, and can be absolutely neutral.
What would be a cause of neutral intention? Why would you do something without desire?
I don't know, like fart, for example. Can you do it?
Or without tension, without desire?
Without desire. Yes.
I think sometimes there's a bit of desire.
I don't know. When you walk, for example, there is just intention to walk sometimes. But sometimes, yeah, for sure, we are sitting and there is like a discomfortable feeling, yeah, and we want to move. Yeah, we want to move. And there is like an involved desire to change it.
So intention could also come in the sense from a habit, because you, meditate every morning at 6 o'clock for an hour. You might even have the desire to meditate anyway, just do it because you got used to it. Would that be a neutral intention because you got used to it in a sense?
It depends, because you can used to it and used to hate it,
For sure, but I feel like this kind of habit building could lead to an intention without necessarily having a desire.
Probably. Huh? Exactly. So that's what I was heading to. The first factors is this faith, yeah, and the effort. The third part is mindfulness. Mindfulness on four foundation of mindfulness is basically is body and mind, yeah, body, mind, feeling, and tamas. And if we are able to be mindful of the things, we gain stability of mind. Yeah, it's like a mind that is like pretty peaceful and can absorb it at some duration of time, without like weariness and hesitation. And if we have this mindfulness and stability of mind together, it will give us wisdom to understand how this system works, how body and mind works. And if you have this understanding, there could be a wholesome desire to do something. Because wholesome desire is about being free from the unwholesome. Yeah? So when this is the part of understanding.
said when we meditate, we should observe with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But how exactly do you do that? Especially when you don't try to figure out the cause of your thoughts and feelings.
Mm-hmm. Just sometimes you need to remind yourself that it's just thoughts. And it's just an object. It's not you. So this is a borrowed wisdom. You kind of borrow it, you're like, okay, I'm not sure about it, yeah, but let's try. And you try it, then you have a success. You see that, okay, it's like these thoughts just run by itself. And then you have an experience. And through this experience, you gain more deep wisdom. You see, we have like several types of wisdom. And first two types depends on knowledge. Yeah, so you know something, you learn something from somewhere. Yeah, second types is you think about what you learn. Yeah, and it's all theoretical knowledge. The most deep wisdom is when you gain it through your own experience. So first you just remind yourself, okay, it's just thoughts, just an object, not me. All right, so you use some thoughts to fight thoughts. Yeah. But later on, it helps you to kind of like distance yourself from these thoughts. And you can just observe how they like come and go. And it became your experience.
But why are they not me? Because I used to see them as part of me.
Everyone used to think it like that. It's a habit. It's a habit. Like whatever you have, we have this like a clinging energy, like we always want to acquire something belong to us. Yeah. But if there is your thoughts, can you really do something with these thoughts? Stop it, for example. But if you cannot stop it, how come that it's your thoughts? What do you think?
Sometimes we want to understand the thoughts.
You want to understand thoughts when you don't understand what thoughts is. If you understand that thoughts is just like the function that run by itself because of cause and because of effect, and there is like a strong connection of the self with the thought. This is my thought. This is my past, my future, and that's how you hold on it. But if you learn how to observe all these processes, there is just observation, and there is thoughts, observation, and there is feeling, observation. There is any other objects. That's how you became free from these thoughts. Not by getting rid of them, but by understanding their nature. Mm-hmm.
Like I don't find the contradiction in this because I got used to it's part of me, but I cannot control it, but it's still part of me.
All right, where are you? Where are you? Show me. Show me. Where are you?
I'm inside my thinking,
inside your thinking. Wait. Don't hurry up. Don't hurry up. Inside your concept. Constantly changing concept. Appearing and disappearing. Do you notice you appearing and disappearing? But most of the time not. And that's... Yes, exactly. That's why the suffering comes. Because this constant idea of self, that's something solid. And this solid self always hold on everything else as something solid. And this solid self want certainty in the future. It's like want to freeze the future to make it the same solid as itself. But you see, as future is not predictable, it's impossible to predict. The same with self is not predictable. With its appearance and disappearance, what became self next moment? You touch something, and this is like my sensations, you know. But then you look at something, oh, this is my seeing. And you think about something, my thoughts. Yeah? So this moving. Yeah?
When you say it like this, it doesn't make much of a difference. Like my movement. But yeah, when it starts to bring my suffering into the picture, then it makes a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why we need to borrow wisdom at the beginning. Kind of like you kind of like trust the idea that there is just an object that you observe. This is not self. Because at the beginning, it's impossible to get it. It's impossible because we used to it. Like all our entire life, we were learn how to hold on it.
So I just pretend that I believe it.
Not pretend, trust.
Okay.
Not even not believe. Kind of like a trust that like looks like it sounds plausible.
But while I trust it, I'm also doubting it
Mm-hmm.
because I don't, fully believe it. So is there
In this case, just forget about that. Just practice. Just practice about the object that you observe. Object that you observe is not you, yes?
I feel like that's part of it. Like,
This is the wrong view. If you have this view, you will never get rid of it. You will never be free from it. That's the fact. That's it. If you start your practice with the wrong attitude, wrong ideas, it will not work. That's it. Unfortunately, there is no other way, to get through it. Huh? Ask neuroscientists, about self. Where is the self from the neuroscience perspective? Someone in between the line of codes, Mm.
So obviously, probably everyone has it when you're meditating. Your thoughts just kind of run away,
Mhm.
and then just smile and you can't stop them.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't really done walking meditation before. It happens a lot
Mhm.
with that, but I've been able to, I guess, step back and realize it's happening.
Mhm.
But when I step back and realize it's happening, I realize it's not mindful, and I try to, I guess, stop it.
Mhm.
Should I just let it run, or
You aware that there are thoughts, a lot of thoughts. That's enough. That's enough. You see, people has a concept about awareness and mindfulness that this is something, tough, something hard, that's something that you need to hold on. No? Ask yourself at this moment, is there awareness or not? Who has? Who doesn't? When you ask yourself, is there awareness, what's happening?
I make an inner inquiry to check how it feels.
Check. The checking is awareness. So ask again, is there awareness or not? Who not aware? Okay. Is it difficult? You. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what do you mean? When you observe the object, what will happen? You became as an object. All right. And then next what?
it just feels like I'm functioning with that object and I'm being led as that object, wherever that object goes. And that can be my thoughts, and it can be my feelings and sensations. And this doesn't feel like I'm observing it.
Because there is like a concentration there. You kind of like, you have this object and you hold on it. Yeah, so it could be like some pleasant feeling that like you like about it. Yeah, and that's why you're holding it. Try to drop it. Just do nothing with this object and observe what will happen next. All right? Sometimes you can observe this desire to hold the object, and that you will help you to let it go. You don't drop, you observe it. And by observation, the mind that observes. You see, the desire is what? Is a body or mind? Yes. The mind that observes the mind. Yeah? The desire, if we observe the desire, this mind that observes it could be free from desire. Okay? And this mind became the cause for the next mind. So that's why when you just observe what's now, so observation of desire, free you from desire. But if you observe desire and want to get rid of it, want to change it, it will not go away. Become free from it, yes. Yes. Because getting rid is a kind of intention to move it away. Yeah? But when you put your sincere interest into this desire, you see, it's a different intention. I want to know what it is. I want to know how it works. I want to know the nature of it. And with this interest, this desire dissolute. That's how you became free from it.
I feel like I have that thought of what I want to discover what it is. But is that not desire in itself? Like wanting this?
It depends. It depends. You need to check this attitude. You know, like when you say like I want to desire to explore it. Like for example, what?
I have strange sensation or
A
phenomena happens. I always think like that's cool. I wonder why that is.
It should be a good stuff actually, but it could be something connect to it, something unwholesome, because this should be a wholesome desire, kind of like okay, I want to know, yeah. So it should work.
But there's no need to get rid of that.
No. What you need, you just need to recognize it. There is this interest, there is this desire to know. That's it. So basically, we want to know the whole range of our body and mind reaction phenomena, yeah? From highly unpleasant to highly pleasant, yeah, and see our reaction on it. Because normally when we start practice, we observe only one object. Yeah, for example, we observe the thinking process. Yeah, and normally we're lost into thoughts when we observe just thinking. Yeah, so sometimes we need to see how our feelings relate to thoughts. And then you see already something, you know, some cause and effect between thinking and feelings. And as more you observe, as more you see these objects that interact together and give you a full picture of what's going on. It's like a solar system. We have a lot of planets there, and all of them has their own gravitation. So they all affect all the systems, whole the system, how this planet spin around the sun. If you see only one planet, you don't understand the system. So you need to see the whole system.
And there's the desire to know, and there's the desire to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Then it can kind of become like an analytical process.
The best way to understand is just observe how it's happening. Yes, because if you want to understand it in analytical way, it's not a practical way. Yeah, it's like to understand the theory of swimming. Very useful, huh? If you cannot swim, it's better to learn swim. Yeah, and then you can bring some theory into it, to improve it. But theory by itself doesn't teach you how to swim. Faith, effort, and then stability of mind. Mindfulness, then stability of mind, and the last one is wisdom, panya. Yeah.
Is it possible to practice mindfulness all the time?
Yes. Yes.
Sustain over time.
Yes, and but you can do it not by the effort. By the effort, it's impossible. Yes. So when you start practice, it's like a bicycle. Yeah, you start to spin it, you put some effort, but then there should be a moment when you gain momentum, when you tap into the flow of mindfulness. It's a different state. When mindfulness works by itself, just by itself. How it works by itself? Let's say you're aware the body is sitting. Yeah? Is it difficult to be aware that body is sitting? Any effort? When you became aware that body is sitting? Yes. So the secret is reminding yourself to be mindfulness. So that's why it's a practice of remindfulness, You just remind yourself to like what's happening at this moment. And it doesn't require an effort. And when you tap into this flow, it just happens. And then you need to keep the balance. What does it mean balance when you get this automatic mindfulness, the nature mindfulness? It's a checking your attitude towards the objects that you are mindful of. Because if there would be something that you desire, you will fall. If it will be something that you hate, don't like, you will fall. So these two things will hold you in balance. And that's how you can keep this mindfulness state for days, for weeks, for months, for years. But when you fall, you need to build it from scratch. That's how it works.
Is it useful to be mindful all the time? I mean, if you're trying to solve a complex logical challenge.
At the beginning, when you use just a normal mindfulness, it's almost impossible. But when it became automatic, it's possible. Because with normal mindfulness, you cannot even read, because it's just word, it's just nothing, and then you need to connect nothing with nothing, and make some sense out of it, so a lot of mind works. And when you absorb it with like a normal mindfulness, you just break this process. Yeah. But automatic mindfulness, that it can see much bigger picture. It's hard to imagine how it works, because it's kind of like a high state of mind. And then you can speak with mindfulness. That's more difficult than solving even the difficult problems. Because when you speak, you need to see what's going on around you. Yeah, you need to react on people reactions.
Does that mean that you can take in everything also? Noting, like seeing, hearing.
No, noting at the end you drop it. Noting is good at the beginning to direct your attention, because you see, like, do you know that you have a mind? Yeah, probably. Yeah, but how do you know that you have mind? Yeah. All right, so by its functions, yes? So by its work, for example, by attention, by intention, by thoughts, yeah? You understand, oh, that's how it works. And mind by itself has no taste, no shape, no form. Yeah? How are you going to work with that? How are you going to train your mindfulness on mind? Yeah? But with words, it's more easy. Thoughts appear, okay, thinking. Yeah? Sensation or sensing. Yeah? And it keeps help you to keep this awareness there for a while. But later on, it's just happening. It's just happening, like a seeing, you know. What do you need? What do you need to see? Nothing. What do you need to be aware of seeing? Nothing. Just remind yourself to be aware of seeing. That's it.
No, I'm curious about. I mean, because you want to observe, so navigate,
Mm-hmm.
and do.
All right.
So you want to be able to also, catch what's going on, not just as in the beginning state, topics.
Yes.
And that this can be achieved.
Yes. Let's say at the beginning, when you observe thoughts, they just disappear. Yes. But later on, you can notice the intention, not just thoughts. You can notice the intention to think. And you can keep this intention. And your thought will go on. Because at the beginning, you see how we start to observe mind. You're just thinking. Yeah, what else? And then you purify your understanding what mind is. And you can see intentions. You can see sometimes two intention goes to the different direction. For example, you do sitting meditation, and there is like intention to stop doing it and intention to keep on practicing. Yeah? If you have a wisdom, if you have an understanding what you are doing, just seeing this both intention removes the intention that wanted to finish it. Yeah? And kind of like a nurturing the intention that is more helpful for you. The same with your project that you are working. You know, if you understand that this is important, your intention just nurture these things.
What can intention behind thinking look like? Is it for maybe liking and wanting to think more, and disliking the thinking and wanting to stop thinking? What else?
When there are thoughts, yeah, there is some objects in these thoughts. I mean, like the content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
where you want to get in that.
Basically, yes. So the intention like has like a different many direction inside the thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, but intention in that context still has like content in a sense.
Yes.
It's not just like in this thing. It's maybe you want to develop a certain thought in this direction, or like.
No, liking and disliking is one thing. Intention is another thing.
Yeah.
Thinking is another thing.
Liking, disliking is one thing, but from liking and disliking connected to it might be like that you want to
Yes.
get away from it.
Yes, exactly.
But intention, you would also call it intention, for example, if the intention that you want to learn more about the thought or try to analyze something. The intention is basically to understand it better. For example.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Basically, that was the question before about understanding what's going on with this like a thinking process. Yeah, to kind of figure out what happened in the past. Yeah, so the intention to go deep into your thoughts and just like create more thoughts. Yeah, but we need to create intention just to be mindful what's happening at the present moment. Because where is your past? Can you show me where is the past? It's your memory that's happening right now. This is the past. It's not somewhere. You just need to realize that it's happening at this present moment. This should be your intention on this present moment. You realize it, gone. Because you're just thinking, it's not past.
Can you have the intention not to be mindful? In the sense that can you choose not to be mindful? Not to be aware?
If you, yes, you can. But when there is a mindfulness and wisdom, you would always choose mindfulness and wisdom. No, if there is a wisdom, you know, you will always choose wisdom and mindfulness. Because, you know, like when you're really mindful, it's always give you energy. It's always give you this like a power to do something. You cannot be sleepy. It cannot be boring. You cannot be tired with mindfulness. So that's why I say, if in your practice there is some difficulties, you know, tiredness or tension in the body and in the mind, check your attitude. It means there is a desire or aversion towards the present moment. As soon as you realize it, as soon as you see this present moment, mindfulness kick in and give you an energy.
There is a universal practice of being mindful, or each of us, we have some ways different.
Now the word mindfulness is very loaded. Yeah, everyone like teach mindfulness. Yeah, when Buddha teach mindfulness, he explained that it should be mindfulness and wisdom, always, without any exceptions. Because you see, like when I don't know, I'm a sniper and I want to shoot someone. Yeah, I need to use like a stability of mind and I need to be mindful what's going on. Yeah, but if there is a wisdom, you will never harm anyone. So check what people teach. If they teach just to kind of like observe the objects, it's not the pure mindfulness. The pure mindfulness always goes with wisdom.
And we gain wisdom through experience.
First, you kind of borrow the wisdom, yeah? Kind of start to use it, like, okay, what I observe? Just objects, yeah? But then through your experience, you realize, yes, this is a fact. Really, like all of this stuff is just an object coming through these six sense doors. And you see, like later on, you see we have like a seeing, hearing, smelling, you know, all the six sense doors. And all the six sense doors go to one door, mind door. If you learn how to stay with this door, all the senses goes here. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to jump from one object to another. You just stay and rest, and everything comes by itself. That's the state of mindfulness when you don't do mindfulness. Mindfulness just does itself. Like an effortless effort. So that's why if you're on advanced level and you recognize there is observation, yeah, there is a mindfulness, there is awareness. Be aware of your awareness. Awareness of awareness give you this chance to stay with it, without any effort.
So when I learn meditation
Mm-hmm.
and I get the free flow of vibration,
Mm-hmm.
at times I kind of touch maybe for like 10 seconds of no mind and no body.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of feel my mind coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Is the mind itself a sensation?
No. Mind is something that aware of sensation. Without mind, you cannot be aware of sensation.
What's like when I have no thought and no body for like 10 seconds, I feel, I guess.
Were you there?
Right?
In this 10 seconds, were you there?
No.
What was there?
Nothing.
Like absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
How do you know it?
From my mind.
I don't know, like I'm asking.
I guess something knows. Otherwise I wouldn't know it.
Yeah. So it was a kind of like how this 10 second looks like. Can you describe it?
Not really. I don't know how I would describe it.
Is it darkness?
Yeah, it kind of obviously comes from that free flow vibration state.
All right.
Eventually it gets so subtle that
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just disappear.
Okay. So there is still some center in this emptiness. Huh?
Yes.
Yes. The next step is like the emptiness without without center.
What about that? It's scary. I use a lot of like anxiety.
Kinda, but you know, it's not important. If there is still self, it means the meditation is still has the wrong idea. So you need to purify it. You see, we can have very, very deep experience in our meditations, you know, like go through this like jhanas, jnanas, and whatsoever. But if we don't have a right understanding what's going on, we will not get benefits from it. Not much benefits, let's say. Yeah. So that's why we always need to come back to the idea that like whatever happening, it's not you. Yeah. And next time probably there will be not you at this stage. Just emptiness. Yeah? And even in this stage, you can be mindful. You know? Just mindfulness of emptiness. Because normally, when you practice Goenka meditation, there are a lot of concentration, and after this concentration, this effect is very, very common. Yeah, and when it happens, normally people don't know what to do with that. Yeah, so that's why we need to train mindfulness, because mindfulness works there. Because if you've done like this, like a free flow, yeah, and there is body disappears, you know what kind of a free flow to do. Yeah? So you need to be mindful at this moment. But how to be mindful if you never learned it before?
Be mindful that.
Yes, yes. There is like this awareness of emptiness. That's it.
And then something will come eventually.
Yes, and just like keep on absorbing it, see what's happening next. Because emptiness is impermanent as well, comes and goes. A good one, huh?
I talked to somebody and they just asked me, but rather they told me just don't think sometimes. And I don't think it's necessarily because meditation, which just say, oh yeah, I can just stop thinking like that. Before you ask me the question, okay, can you stop thinking? Usually the answer is no. What do you make of that answer?
That they cannot stop thinking?
No, that they just stop thinking for some time.
Yes, yes, it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. But how long?
2 minutes.
Let's do 5 minutes. If it's your thinking, let's do 10. Why limit yourself? Can do 10, do 15. Like. But you see, the purpose is like to understand that it's just happening by itself. Huh? And our practice is not the idea to stop thinking, it's just to realize how this starts happening.